And it says here he's implementing massive across-the-board tariffs on almost every country in the world, raising prices for American consumers, escalating a pointless trade war with American allies, and pushing the economy into a self-inflicted meltdown. No. Oh, let me check my 401k. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's a lot of red.
It's my shoe, right? It is made in China. This is going to be 34% more expensive. It's an ordinary shoe bought in a discount store.
Recession alarm bells are going off. The odds of a recession, 60%, up from 40%.
Yesterday was a scary day for the world. Today is more, as we are getting to know how Trump administration came up with their latest tariffs almost hitting every country of the planet. Well, it's so wild and ridiculously simple that at first thought it was like, this can't be true. But when it sank in, oh yes, of course, this is exactly how they can calculate it, really.
What you're going to see now to the right of me are the countries listed on Trump's giant poster. Just look at it, scroll. We had to speed it up because this is 185 countries. Trump took pleasure in it, detailing what he was about to do to these 185 countries. Some of the hardest hit places include the world's poorest nations. Others are in the midst of actual wars, physical wars. And look at the view if you just put up the map. Look at this map. It seems like nothing was too small to be included. That includes the Heard and McDonald Islands. It's a speck out there. See, it's a real speck because the population there is 0. According to the UN, just look, the merchandise exports, imports, and trade balance of that speck are 0. So when you look at that speck, which you wouldn't even know existed, I did not know that existed until today, and I love geography.
The more world dug into it, the clearer it became. This isn't some genius trade strategy. It's so basic that it's almost comical. Let's break it down together. Here's the whole scenario. April 4, 2025, Trump's big liberation day. He is rolling out a universal reciprocal tariff against over 180 countries. It's a list every nation with a number next to it, labeled tariff charge to the USA with a tiny print about currency manipulation and trade barriers. The whole sales page, these countries are ripping US off. So they have calculated how much they are costing America and they are hitting back with the taxes. Except the maths behind it, it's completely illusional. Take a look at the original chart. This column, every country has got a percentage. China at 67.3, Vietnam at 90%, Colombia at 97%. The whole claim is these are the effective tariffs those countries slaps on the US, taking in factor tariffs, barrier and shady tricks. But here's the real story. It's not based on any of that. They just took the US trade deficit in goods with each country, divided it by the total US imports from that country and made it in a percentage. That's it. That's the whole trick. Let's run the number for China, for example. Last year, the US trade deficit with China was about $295.4 billion. Total imports from China, $438.9 billion. Divide those two and you get a percentage of 67.3. There's a tariff China supposedly charges US. But it's not just tariff, it's just a trade gap. It's nothing to do with actual tariffs or trade barriers. Experts and economists went through all these countries and their tariffs, and every single one uses the same lazy formula. It's not smart, it's not even close to legit. It's nauseating, if anything. Okay, let's break this down, the original formula for you. You have got this series of symbols and letters on the left. Sounds sophisticated, right? That's what they're trying to sell it to you. The goal, as he said, is to measure something specific. To get there, they factored in two things: how sensitive customers are to the higher prices and how likely prices are likely to go up. Now here is the scary part. They have assigned a constant value of 4 for sensitivity and 0.25 for the price increase likelihood across all the countries. Here's the thing, multiply those together and you get a 1. And we all know multiplying anything by 1 doesn't change a thing. So all that noise, it simplifies down to something a lot clearer. Here's what we're left with. X represents a total goods export and M is a total goods import. Subtract one from another, export minus import, and there's your trade imbalance in goods. If it's a deficit, meaning imports outweigh the exports, you take that number and divide it by the total imports. That's the core of what we are talking about here. Simple as that. But here's the thing, it's not even trying to measure tariffs directly. It's not looking at what other countries are charging or their non-tariff barriers or even stuff like currency manipulation. It's just using trade deficit like a standing, like ipso facto reflection of all those factors. It's just a dressed up shortcut. And this flimsy maths isn't just a theory, it's driving a real chaos. In the last 2 days, the US stock market has crashed by $6.6 billion. To make it easier to understand for Indians, India's entire GDP is $4.3 trillion. That means the US lost roughly 1.5 of India's economy in just 48 hours, all tied to this tariff mess. That's not a hiccup, that's a disaster. China still seems like a small number as compared to these ridiculous numbers. Vietnam 90% tariff, Cambodia 97% tariff. You'd think like, wow, they're crushing the US with all these tariffs. But it's nonsense. It's just how much more US buys from them than they buy from the US. Trump's whole plan seems to be hinging on this plan. They are charging 90%, so we'll hit them with the 45% and then negotiate. Except the 90% is a fake. How does Cambodia lower something that doesn't even exist? You thought this was over? Not that soon. One weird thing that stood out that 115 countries on that list have exactly 10% as their tariff rate. Too neat, right? Turns out that those are the places where US have a trade surplus, meaning US sells them more than they sell to USA. So if Trump follows Trump's own argument, US actually is winning. So why smack them with the 10% tariff? No clue. This whole thing is a mess. It's just not bad maths, it's bad policy, crushing the market by $6.6 trillion. This whole thing made me very curious. So I checked upon the formulas that resulted in losing maximum amount of money. Well, first comes the Gaussian copula, David Lee's 2000 brainchild. It priced risky debts like CDOs, but crashed the world for $10 trillion in 2008. At second, we have Trump's tariff formula in April 2025. Result? A $6.6 trillion market wipeout in just 2 days. And the way it is going, I won't be surprised if it overtakes the first in just one more day. What do you think about this? Do let us know in the comments. Also, please like, share, subscribe for more such interesting content. See you soon.